Skarloey had finished his work to be mended. Yesterday, those troublesome coaches tricked him, and the narrow gauge engine himself crashed into Mighty Mac's goods train really, really bad. And now, today, Skarloey looks good as new again, but he was still worried that those troublesome coaches from yesterday might return back to the Sodor Railway again, but they weren't, because last night the Fat Controller had sent them away. But now today it was something to do all about trucks. I'd rather not use them. I'd rather not use them like I shouldn't have with those troublesome coaches, puffed Skarloey to himself. I'd rather not use them like I nearly was like with those troublesome coaches yesterday, he puffed to him. Like those troublesome coaches yesterday, he puffed to himself. But the trucks sang songs rude and loud. The brakeman named Nigel led the course. Skarloey's no use at all, thinks he's very nice, just that he can manage the troublesome coaches and the trucks. That's the best joke ever. When the order's all about, he's the greatest stupid engine, so we can push him down the swamp. That pop goes to Skarloey. Pop goes to Skarloey, they sang. Wilhelmina, Oliver, Mighty Mac and Ben were horrified. Shut up, they ordered to the trucks, but the trucks weren't listening, and then they started singing again. Skarloey's no use at all, thinks he's very clever, says that he can manage us. That's the best joke ever. That's the best joke ever. Ha 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 ha. After that, the time was over. The others tried their best to shut them up, the four guys struggled to shut them up, but it was no use. They felt sorry for Skarloey. We're sorry for you, Skarloey, said Oliver. Well, said Skarloey, it's just because... No, don't mention it, said Skarloey. It was my fault. I shouldn't have pulled those. I shouldn't have crashed into Mighty Mac's goods train with the... troublesome coaches, he said. Mighty Mac felt sorry. I'm sorry, he said. I shouldn't have taken it, he said. Oh, well, that's all right, said Skarloey sadly. Wilhelmina felt sorry for Skarloey as well, and she began feeling and then after that she was feeling very sad. At the next day, Nigel was waiting for Skarloey. When Skarloey arrived, he was annoyed with him and didn't want to talk. Did you enjoy it yesterday? said Nigel. Didn't really, said Skarloey, because you are a big idiot. Me? said Nigel. Shut up! You're a scrap engine and you're stinky. Skarloey was very cross. Shut up, he said. I don't like stinky old brake vans like you. He said, just take that. They thumped Nigel very hard. Ow, ow, he said. Do not ever do that to me, he said. Do you know how easily I cracked? Well, you will crack soon, said Skarloey, and puffed away angrily. Nigel was very annoyed. The trucks were feeling very sorry. We'll pay him out tomorrow, said another truck. He'll pay for what he he did to you? Yeah, said Nigel, but I'm alright, because he should not do that to a brake van like me, because he doesn't know how easily I brake, he said. The trucks didn't keep it to the one and only days, but they were worried that Nigel will go away and get broken. But Nigel wasn't. He was going to get his revenge on Skarloey by bumping him. Later, Wilhelmina was talking to Ben when Skarloey arrived. Okay then, said Skarloey. Very well then, said Ben. So, what are you going to do? Well then, said Skarloey, it's because those 3 trucks and that idiot brake van were mean to me yesterday, he said. Well anyway, he continued, I know another plan to pay him out. He paid them out, he said. Really? Said Ben. But Skarloey appreciate this. No, Ben, he said. No, Ben, he said. It's just that let me guess, said Wilhelmina. Because of yesterday. It was, said Skarloey. Thank you, Wilhelmina, said Skarloey. Wilhelmina smiled. Well, you're welcome by my appreciation, said Wilhelmina. Well, it might have been someone's fault, said Ben. No, Ben, said Skarloey. Wilhelmina's right. It was all my fault, he said. But Ben thought quietly for a moment. Very well, Skarloey, he said, because you know what? Because you need to hurry. My passengers will be waiting. Just then, Wilhelmina and Skarloey said goodbye. So Ben puffed away out of the yards. Good luck, said Ben. Cheerio, smiled Wilhelmina happily. Goodbye, said Skarloey bravely. We'll attach the plan to our idea, said Wilhelmina. And they did. After when the plan worked, they were all ready to begin. Then the final time began. So did the final moment as well. Ben managed to arrive with his coaches. Then Nigel was ready to deal with Skarloey. Bump him, whispered Nigel. Then the 3 trucks mentioned it to themselves as well. So Skarloey decided to shunt the others and turn them into a goods train. So Fred applied his brakes. Then Skarloey couldn't hold on much longer, so he gave him a great heave. Oh! Screamed Nigel. I don't like this. Then he began to crumble and crumble. Got it, said Ben. Well done, boy, well done, he said to Skarloey. Growled Nigel. Not long now, said Skarloey. Now take it easy on yourself, he said. So he bumped Nigel again. Oh, he said, not again, please, no. Oh, he screamed. But now Nigel couldn't take it anymore. So Skarloey was so aggressive with Nigel, and now Nigel couldn't take it anymore of the weight. Then he began to crunch. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, he screamed. And then Skarloey pushed and pushed, and then it began on very well. I'm gonna crunch, said Nigel, and he did as well. And they did it.